We are just rodeoing on the beaches of Winnebago. And what's this bull's name?
This is Hook and Harry.
Hook and Harry is out here. Hook and Harry and Cody Webster are going to teach us how to fight bulls, freestyle bullfighting. It's not the first time you've freestyled a bull on the beach.
No, sir. We
remember that time?
When? How
I
long
saved
was
you?
that? You saved me?
When I saved you?
Really?
He was out here fighting.
Here, let's go to
And
the footage and just see who saved who.
I think what was his name? Rodeo Red?
Rodeo Red.
Was
number
about
86.
to eat his lunch. I snuck in there and got him off of
Dude,
him.
you're so full of it.
Dude, it was. We'll roll the
He didn't
footage.
even stand a chance.
He didn't. No, wait. Who?
Either of you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what happened?
You?
That's
No, me?
what happened.
No, yeah.
Sometimes you got to give
listen,
these fighting
just-
bulls confidence.
Just take it for what it is. DB was this close. He was within an inch of his life of getting completely wrecked out.
an inch, maybe more like a foot.
Dude, let's talk about freestyle
Okay, let's talk
bullfighting.
about freestyle bullfighting.
Freestyle bullfighting is basically a one-on-one, head-to-head match of man versus beast. It's generally you got to go at least 40 seconds to the first whistle. If you can't get to the 40-second whistle, it's a goose egg. You're getting a 0. You're going home with nothing but a sore leg.
Right.
Got an additional 30 seconds after the 40, which makes a combined total of 70-second fight. Within that 30 seconds, you can get a high sell point of a jump, a flip, a really classic move, some high point that'll leave the judge going, that's a pretty good bullfight. Opening, a lot of times these days we've got a shotgun start. So these bulls are coming straight out the gate. They're coming straight for you, not coming out of the traditional buck and shoot like a buck and bull would. So with this being on, coming straight at you, personally in my preference, I've always loved the shotgun start over any other way to start a bull, because when you're lined up, everything's straight. He's got to run at you. You're going to get that open and run. And generally when he comes at you, I'm going to throw a right hand fake, step through.
I was coming faster than you thought.
Step through. Come on, Dale.
You never fought a bull like me, Webb. Woo!
Classic moves. It's just a dance. You know, right out of there, that was just a right hand fake, which is got this bull in a right hand lead. I can throw a fake. It's going to step his momentum over. And I can step out of the way into the pocket, exposing my back, which puts me right in the money hole. And that's where you want to be. Everybody's momentum kind of gets guys going and running out straight. But one of the biggest factors that I see of everything going on in the freestyle world right now is guys' vision. You wouldn't think that your vision would so much control what you do in your fight, but just like riding a bull, right, Dale?
Yep.
Where you look is where you're going.
Absolutely.
So if I'm fighting this bull and we're hooked up making circles, fighting, if I'm looking into that pocket and everything into that well, that's probably where I'm going to end up. I see so many young kids right now looking at these bulls' head, and it's hard. It's hard to not look at their head. They got a set of horns out there, real dangerous. It's a Mexican fighting bull. They're hard to get by. But if you're looking at that head, that's where you're going to be the entire time that you're trying to get away from this bull. You're always getting tatted with a horn. He's tattooing you up. You're on the run. Next thing you know, you're steamrolled, run the length of, fight's over. Vision, looking into that hole, that's a big key to freestyle bullfighting.
What's another kind of fake you want to throw?
Man, the one that I just showed you is a traditional just fake, kind of what they use in the same in football. The more that you get to going and getting around these hot bulls, the different things that you can do. You can step with a back step. You can get that bull coming, kind of let him line you out, roll around, hit him with another fake, step through, right back into your circles. The circle is not as as flashy. It's not as fancy as throwing all these cool fakes and everything, but it kind of makes that bull get into a space of mind that he's more true when he's coming to you. If you can get that bull wrapped up and going into the right-hand circle really good and clean, you can get him on that lead and everything that's going. Once you get a couple moves, I can then set that front reverse right back into the other side of the pocket. You know, there's just so much that you can do coming out of that circle, and that circle is the ultimate fundamentally moves that, you know, the bull's body is working against himself when you're in the circle. You know, he's got 4 feet. For him to, in order to charge forward, his feet's got to be underneath him in the back to come forward. So if I've got this bull bent in a circle, there's a pocket right here, which I called it earlier the money hole. But the pocket is a safe place because this bull's got all this muscle on his neck. He's got this hump. Everything's right here. Well, it's like a big old weightlifter. You know, if he's all muscled up, he can't turn and do the things that a skinny, agile guy can, you know. Same way on these bulls. They've got all this muscle on their neck. So when they're coming around into that circle, everything this bull has going on, his back feet ain't underneath him, and he's got all this muscle. There's a hole right here that he can't get you. And you can step into this circle and you can go all day, baby.
So you talked about with cowboy protection in our other video, you talked about how it's reaction and you can't have a plan. Do you ever have a plan whenever you're freestyling?
It's kind of the same deal. I mean, if you're thinking what you want to try to do, essentially you're already behind again because he's a live animal. I mean, he can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, however he wants. That can be completely different than what he did last weekend. You know, so if this bull comes running straight out of the shotgun chute, just like we did earlier, I mean, there can be a banner flap in the wind right there. There can be a guy standing right there that he can see. And I mean, there's been times that this bull's just reining in and then he sees somebody and whoa, and he just runs over and tats that. Then you've got to get another line up, get restarted, get your misdirection, and get him hooked up and fighting. So you can't be game planning. You can't be sitting there going, okay, I'm gonna throw a fake to the right, because if he comes out and hangs his horn in the gate or anything, it can offset him, and then you're throwing your fake right into where he's going.
What about?
So it's got to be reaction.
Do you have a certain mindset towards jumping bulls?
For me, a guy that doesn't jump very high, I've got to really set up and execute a jump. For me, like entering, you know, a head jump would be essentially my high point sell, because for me to get up and get high enough to clear him head to tail normally doesn't happen for Webster.
So what do you mean by a head jump?
So a head jump is going to be essentially lining everything up, getting that bull lined up, and he comes. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to enter about over the tip of this horn or his neck, and I want to exit over his hip.
So you're not head to tail straight on?
Not head to tail straight on. And for me, getting a bull coming on a head jump, they've got a little bit of momentum, so they're in that lead. They're a little bit lower to the ground to be able to get up and over them.
Gotcha.
I can show you that right now.
Do they have a lot of, wow, that horse farted really loud. Will they put their heads down when you get up to them often, or do most of them just keep them straight?
Well, like generally, I mean, if you've got everything lined up on that bull right and he's really trying to get to you and hook you, you know, just the fundamentals of that bull being in that left-hand lead is going to make him drop lower to the ground just a little bit. And if you can get sometimes just an inch is all you need, you know, to get up and clear a bull and get over him, get a high point sell for your bullfight. Or, you know, like this year at San Antonio, last year we fought a fighting bull every performance. Not for an extra paycheck, not for extra money, but just for the crowd's sake. You know, we bucked 10 of the best bucking bulls in the world, and they can't ride a single bull. Just the bulls are so great that night. We'll step out there and fight a fighting bull that just leaves the crowd leaving on a note going, man, that was cool. That was neat. You know, we're going to come back tomorrow night and see them bullfighters again.
Last thing, as we wrap up, I just want you to give us just a quick mindset of what's going through a judge's mind. Like, what are, obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious. You tell us what's going through a judge's mind.
Well, for me, I think a judge wants to see action, which is what the crowd wants to see. So if we're out here and we're hiding on the fence, we're getting on the fence, that's a deduction of points right off the bat. Bull gets a guy down and runs him over and hooks on him. You're out of control. The bull's controlling the fight. That's a deduction of points. But mainly is how much time throughout this 30 or 40 second period is there action going on? Are you hooked up fighting, staying in this bull's face? You know, that determines to me who's going to win the match or not, is who is in control, who can keep a fight going for 40 seconds straight and not get underneath the bull or get hooked or put on the fence, you know, and then who can end up with a high point sale. That's the biggest deal. So for a judge's point of view, I think you really want to see action. You really want to see the fight being took to the bull.
Action, baby.
It's all
Action. Go watch this video a few times, watch Webster's videos, and if you want to learn how to do this, go to one of his bull schools, CodyWebsterBullfighting.com.
That's it.
He takes 5 students at a time, and you get to learn it all. Cowboy protection, freestyle bullfighting, and the business side of it, how to rodeo, all of it. So bull
It's a business.
School. If you've watched this whole video, then you need to go to a bull school. Well, and you want to be a bullfighter. Some people might just, yeah, you gotta want it. You gotta want it.
Show up and bow up.
Show up, be ready to bow up, old son. Do you like it, Donnie?
Oh yeah.
Pow pow.